Okay, we are live. Welcome to the stream. Welcome back. We have another big, big match. Hold on. Yep, another big match between the Wizards and the Nets. This is the last game before we go on a Western Conference road trip. Um, the last time we played this Wizards team, it was a little bit of a eyesore to watch. And I do remember it was an eyesore, not an eyesore, it was a pain in the ass to stream as well. Um, but yeah, we're in a little bit of a better circumstance, a bit of a better scenario today. Um, we are 11-9. We won a very very good match. Came on top against the Hawks the other day, which means we advanced to 11-9, and we are a game off from, I believe, the 5 seed. Um, some interesting things to look at, and um, I may just add it as a. I don't even know how to do it. Um, a very interesting takeaway is that we have the fourth best net rating in the league. We have the third best offense in the league, and we have the 17th best defense in the league. So we are in that group with like the Sixers, the Suns, the Bucks, the Heat. So good teams. Um, it's just like we've been in a lot of close games, and some of the time we haven't came out on top. So that's probably the issue there. But the scoring's always been a pretty common, strong attribute of ours over the course of the season. So fair to say that was pretty unprecedented going into the season. But as you can see by Ian's chat comment, the Nets are 10-1 when we give up fewer than 117.5 points, which, interestingly enough, is well, in the last 6 games we're 5-1, but in that stretch we have given up under 113 points, basically every time. And obviously at the start of the season it was a little bit dodgy in that regard. We couldn't keep teams under 120, but the Hornets game aside, we've been pretty good in that department. Potty, welcome to the stream. Just finished mowing the lawn in 32-degree heat and um, ready for the game. Yeah, it's a pretty important match. We got hit with a heat wave yesterday. I think it was 36 degrees over here. I don't know what the temperature is now, but I can guarantee you it's much cooler today. Bit of rain. Um, will I be calling the Everton Spurs game? Not quite, because it's 2 a.m. Good luck. If we win that game, I won't be able to keep quiet, and obviously there are people sleeping. So I think even though I'm a considerate kind of person, I think the consideration will go out the window if we score. Um, so that's why I don't stream games. If I had my own place, which is impossible, um, then it may have been a different story, but obviously not. We need the Celtics to beat the Knicks tonight. I mean, don't we need every team to beat every team ahead of us? I think, what's the situation? So the Knicks are a game ahead. The Cavs and the Heat are a half game ahead. The Pacers are a game ahead, and the Sixers are only 2 games ahead. The Sixers are playing the Hawks right now. The Knicks play Boston. The Cavs play Miami. So I mean, we're playing the Wizards. Obviously, there is a chance to get into the top 8 at least, and then potentially a little bit further. Should the Celtics do us a huge favor, which they didn't with the in-season tournament, as we know. Yeah, but this is the starting five as well for the net. Oh, sorry, the Wizards, and then for the Nets, it is your traditional starting five that we've seen since Cam Thomas came back. Um, yeah, it's a pretty good starting five, and I do like how JV made some comments post game about Cam Thomas and how they had discussions around these, like those sort of games being a learning curve for him, because the Hawks were blitzing him, double teaming him. He had to give off the ball or risk a contested shot or a turnover, which was just on repeat last game. Like, he nearly had more turnovers than points. So, yeah, it was a little bit of an ugly sort of performance from a Cam Thomas perspective, but I do have faith he will bounce back. He's just too good to not. The Wizards nearly beat the Sixers. That is a great point, because it goes without saying this is a game where we can't, what's the word? We can't afford to be complacent, because the last time we played the Wizards, I don't think we were complacent. The shot wasn't falling. That was the issue. Against the Hornets, I think it was a different story, giving away 21 threes, conceding 129 points to a shorthanded team, let alone a shorthanded Hornets team, is pitiful. It's a pitiful display. So, it's good that we've got an opportunity here to redeem ourselves against an opponent that we well and truly should win, and beat. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. No Dennis Smith Jr. tonight. He is out with back soreness, so he was very important. Very important when it comes to the defensive side of the game and that sort of thing. Because the last two games against the Hawks, and who was the other team we played before that? Whoever they were, Dennis Smith Jr. was pretty huge on that end. I think it was Orlando. Even though he's not that tall, he was putting in some really good contributions. Spencer's got the braids out. He's gotten rid of the fro, and he's going with the braids. So maybe he thinks there's going to be a little bit of a good omen with that trim. Honestly, it would be hilarious to see. Like, Cam Johnson's got an afro. Who else has got an afro? O'Neal's sort of got an afro. Not long enough, though. Cam Thomas he's got his, sort of... he's got dreads. So, honestly, Cam Thomas could actually have braids as well. Watford could have braids, because he's got dreads as well. I would find it so funny if this team just decided to just all get braids at the same time. That would be a pretty hilarious watch. So yeah, for the Wizards, starting is Tyus Jones, Jordan Poole, Denny Avdia, Kuzma, and Gafford. And for the Nets, it is your traditional starting five, which goes by Spencer Dinwiddie, Cam Thomas, Bridges, Johnson, Claxton, the unsurprising lineup right there. So this team is well equipped to get the job done today. It is just a question of whether they actually show up, and you don't know what sort of Brooklyn Nets team you're going to get on any given night. It's going to be interesting to see what our bench rotation looks like. I will expect Watford to get minutes because DSJ is out. We don't have any facilitators off the bench or anyone that can sort of distribute. So it'll probably be Watford, Doe, Royce, Dayron, and I don't think any of the rookies or two-way players are on the bench. And obviously Harry Giles isn't going to get minutes because Dayron is the backup big, and he's been a really good sort of contributor in that role. And he had some post-game comments as well to make. Basically saying that even though he plays 15 or 20 minutes a game, it feels like 30. He's just happy to be contributing. And obviously a contributing Dayron Sharp is always going to be, we're going to be the better team for it, 100%. Skyline, welcome to the stream, buddy. Funnier if they went all bald like JV. Okay, yeah, that would be... I would have had to have gone bald as well. I think in honor of that tradition. Then, I want Dennis to play, but he's injured at the beginning of the season. I would not have said that. Well, yeah, I mean, his play wasn't really proving it until the very recent stretch. Bro, what are the Wizards doing, man? They're fucking doing behind the back passes in the first possession of the game. Kuzma's turned it over, and flung it out of bounds. So Dinwiddie's going to bring the ball up. I don't think I've ever seen Spencer with braids in the entirety of my Nets watching experience. Dinwiddie for three. Oh, God. Yeah, he probably should get the afro back. He missed it badly. Bridges followed it up for three, scored it, and we are underway, and Bridges picks up right where he left off. His last 2 games, he's averaging 37, and obviously he's experiencing the best stretch of his 2023-24 season. Gafford was able to score over Claxton, and now Cam Thomas will drive, stop and pop, and is well short on that mid-range. And Jordan Poole's just booted it out of bounds. He dribbled it off his own foot, and it will be Nets ball. So to start this game, the Wizards have had more turnovers than shots. Just realized that Vince Carter is also commentating this one on Yes, so that's pretty cool as well. Bridges is going to drive on Kuzma. Kick out to Johnson. Catch and shoot 3 is off. Rebound Kuz. And Avdia will hand it off to Jones, who swings it across to Kuzma. And now Gafford fakes the handoff. Drives on Clax. Misses the shot. Doesn't get the roll. And Clax will get the rebound. Push it to Spencer. The drive. He goes downhill and he scores off the window for 2. And his first basket goes down. It took quite a while to say that the other day. So it's good to see that one go through. The Wizards, now Jordan Poole to Jones. High screen, back to Poole, back to Jones. The 3. Quick trigger is off. Claxton the board. And he will he'll give it to Dinwiddie, who will... Well, I thought he was going to test Avdia and drive it. Instead, he shoots a 3. Then the Wizards looked for the go-ahead pass, but they could not get it to Avdia. And another turnover. Claxton looking for Bridges. Gets it to him. Pulls up for 2 at the edge of the paint. Doesn't get the bounce. Claxton, the offensive board. CT is open for 3. And he didn't get the bounce. Johnson was there for the follow, but the bounce off the rim actually did more harm than good. Kuzma picks up his dribble. Gives it to Avdia, and now Jones will drive on Cam Thomas, shoot the short pop, and he scores for 2. So 5-4 in the favor of the Nets. Already forced 3 turnovers, but haven't capitalized nearly enough on those. Only a 1-point lead. Thomas was tripped up as he was about to go up, and I do believe it'll be free throws because I think he was on the gather there. I mean, there was just way too much space on the drive there. You could clearly see a window of opportunity, a little bit of daylight to get that drive going. So first free throw is good for Cam, and he's on the board early in this one, which was, I think, essential to the sort of mentality side of things, given the way things were the other night, which was pretty difficult. That one does not go down, though. Ivan, hope you're doing well, buddy. So the Wizards will get into a set. They'll look for Kuzma. Gafford looking for someone to hand it off to, but we do well denying the pass. They're still looking for it. They get it to Avdia, who will drive, fake the pass, and scored over Claxton. So we're tied at 6, and I mean, it's actually pretty baffling that we're at 6 apiece, because the Wizards have looked disjointed the majority of the time. Thomas out to Dinwiddie, who shoots another 3, and that one rattles out. I don't know why he's shooting those. He had success on his first layup, but he's decided, let me jack up 3 3-pointers. We're 2 of 9. Kuzma airballs a 3, and Claxton will get the rebound. Bridges will get it ahead to his twin in Johnson, and now Clax will look for Bridges again. He's got Jones on him now. The switch. Bridges over Gafford. That one's off as well. So we're 2 of 10. And I don't know why, but there is just something about playing the Wizards because we cannot score early. Avdia misses. And now Johnson will probably slow things down, I suspect. He's going to get it a 1-2 from Dinwiddie. The screen. Dinwiddie will drive and kick to the corner for Bridges. The 3 in the corner is good over Kuzma. I don't think he could have played any better defense. Bridges just too good, man. He's got 2 threes. He's got the exact same amount of points as the entire Wizards group in the first 5 minutes of the game. We have the first foul of the game on the Nets. It is Dinwiddie who will pick it up. Jones on the outside. Alley-oop was well and truly there. Gafford could not score, though. It was well directed, just not enough class to get it done. And now Johnson will bounce past it to Dinwiddie, who swings it to the corner for Thomas. And now he will send it back out to Dinwiddie, back to Thomas. Goes baseline, stops. The turnaround is smooth. And that is his first basket of the game. And he wanted a foul. Let's have a look on the replay. I think he did get hit at the end of that shooting motion, so probably a little bit hard done by, but we've got our first time out of the game, and the score sits at 11-6, as we've mentioned. Back to the box score, and, well, I'm trying to ride a good wave of luck with Bridges because, I mean, obviously 2 good games where he's averaging 37 in both of those. So I'm like, well, he loves the spotlight, so let me just chuck him in the spotlight again and see what he can do, what he can produce. And so far, he's got a nice couple of threes. We know that was the most difficult part of his game earlier in the season. You know, a fair few things were going right for Bridges, but the 3-pointers, he was probably leaving a few points on the table because he couldn't knock those down at a good efficiency. Now, in like the last 10 or so games, 7 to 10 games, like is shooting like 40% from 3, which is obviously a much better mark. And as opposed to shooting 2 of 6, you're shooting 2 of 5. So it looks a little bit better on the box score. But yeah, he started well with 2 threes. We're not shooting the ball too well at the moment, but we're doing a good job of looking after the basketball. Probably a few too many threes being attempted at the moment. Dinwiddie got to stop shooting the 3 because he's far better when he drives the basketball. The Wizards have 4 less shots, but that is probably because they've already turned it over 3 times. And that's not a particularly good sign if they wanted to win this game. Avdia has started probably the best out of the Wizards. I mean, I'm just going off what the box score would indicate, and the box score indicates Avdia has done a little bit of everything. So, nice start for him. It looks like, as the box score updates, Koulibaly is checking in. So that's a good move because he was playing well for us the last time, or playing well for the Wizards the last time they went up against us. Daniel Berry, welcome to the stream, buddy. Hope you're doing well, my guy. Clax needs to go at the basket. He was right under it. Bro, Clax is shooting the ball really, really well in the protected area, and they just don't feed him the basketball enough, and they probably don't draw up enough plays for him. Why is the... It looks like the camera is sort of lagging a little bit. There we go, that should be better. It's going to look a little bit darker, but it'll lag a bit less. Okay. Play resumes for the Wizards. Koulibaly is into the game, and he is trapped immediately by Finney-Smith, who has come in, and Dinwiddie. Now Jones will drive and kick it out to the corner, and Koulibaly stood on the sideline right in front of the Nets bench. So Another turnover for the Wizards. That is number 4 for the game. And they just cannot score a basket. And it doesn't really help that they're turning the ball over at such a high rate like they are not now. Dayron is into the game for the Nets. And he will set this high screen for Dinwiddie. Spence, alley-oop! Dayron! Yes, sir! That was pure team basketball by the Nets. 7-0 run. We've got about 6 minutes to play in this first quarter, so nearly at the halfway mark. Gafford is fed on the outside. Kuzma has Finney Smith on him, so I like this matchup. And obviously Doe coming off the bench, so it's really unrelenting, this Nets rotation at times. And Kuzma airballs a mid-range as a result because of that contest. So it's great stuff. I mean, obviously we're playing a weaker Wizards team, so those shots should be forced a little bit more because, you know, the Wizards have a weaker team. They're relying on worse players to do more things and have more responsibility. Bridges off on the 3. It was a pretty good look on the wing, but he wasn't able to get enough leverage. And now Poole will bring the ball back and shoot a 3, and that was well short as well. Johnson having a little bit more responsibility on offense, I'm noticing. Johnson maneuvers through and falling to the floor, bumps into his twin, still able to convert the 2 off the glass, and it is a 15-6 lead. The Sixers have not... Why am I saying the Sixers? The Wizards have not scored in the last couple of minutes. A 9-0 run for the Nets in that time. Jones retrieves the pass from Gafford on the outside. The pass across court to Koulibaly. It's a good rotation across. Finney Smith is there for the contest, but Koulibaly with that little bit of extra acceleration to get enough space. Dayron out to Dinwiddie. Pass to Dayron, who rolls the spin, and he throws one up, missed it, then nearly got his own miss, and unfortunately it bounced the wrong way. So 15-8, 4.5 to play first quarter. Kuzma looking for a cutter. Can't find one. He gives it to Gafford instead. Poole has an open 3. Bridges, it was good help defense. Forced the miss, but there is a foul on the floor, and it'll be one of Dinwiddie or Johnson picking it up. So a lot of misses, and Danilo Gallinari checks in, and he's had some really good sort of moments scoring-wise for this Wizards team. He's a pretty good player. He's a bit slow, though. And because of the age and how slow he is, he's playing a small ball 5. I think he started his career playing as a 3. So Gallinari will pass it off to Kuzma on the wing. Knocked away by O'Neal. Good defense. Kuzma nearly lost the ball. Had to shoot a tough baseline delivery, and he scores somehow. I don't think O'Neal could have played any better defensively. I would have loved to have seen Finney Smith as the assignment. Probably wouldn't have even allowed the shot to go up. Bridges responds with a tough 2. A little bit of a body bump under the basket. He scores for 2 more, and the Nets back up by 7 with 3.5 to play. Poole just lost the ball, but it's going to be deemed a foul on Dayron Sharp. So 2 free throws coming up for Poole. That's such a tough shot by Kuzma. I don't know how he scored that as the shot clock expires. So all right. So free throws coming up here for Poole. Takes a moment and then shoots the first, and that one is good. So cut back down to 6. 5 on the floor for the Nets at the moment is Bridges and Cam Thomas, and then you've got the wing rotation of O'Neal and Finney Smith. Then you've got Dayron as the 5. So there you go. And I would suspect that Watford will play probably start of the second quarter, if anything. We may see more minutes of Bridges plus the 2 bench bigs, or bench wings, should I say. Bridges, quick pass to Dayron, good find. there was enough room to unleash that pass, and Dayron had an equal amount of space to get the shot up. Poole drives on Dayron. He stays with him, but unfortunately, Poole scores the turnaround in the mid-range. That's a tough look. Pau Gasol is in the crowd. That's pretty interesting. Don't know what he's doing there. Cam Thomas, nice little reverse. Use that little bit of extra hang time to score for 2. There was absolutely no resistance under the basket by the Wizards, and it is a 7-point lead for the Nets, 21-14. Cam getting on the scoreboard early, which is nice. Gallinari for 3. I would think that in an alternate universe, he's knocking those down. Probably 4 years ago when he's playing for Boston or whoever it was, he's knocking those down. I don't think he ever played for Boston, even though he was on their list for ages. Gallinari is hit with a foul, and it was Cam Thomas who was the victim of that one. We have another timeout as well, so another stoppage in play. We will check the box score as is tradition, and Bridges is doing some really nice things for them. You can see for the Wizards, though, Jordan Poole leads the way for them with 4 points. He does have the 2 turnovers, though. So I guess that's the Jordan Poole experience. They have not scored a 3 yet, and they have turned the ball over 4 times. So that is a little bit of an issue. The interesting thing is we emphasize interior defense, and we are, well, shipping off points in that department, obviously in comparison to the threes we're conceding. I think it's more down to them not making shots than our presence on the outside. 8 points for Bridges. He's got a dime and a rebound to go with those numbers, or those points. Dinwiddie's got 3 assists and a steal. Cam Thomas is 5, which is nice to see. And off the bench, Dayron with 4. And that's the situation. We don't have any of our two-way players on the bench, nor do we have any rookies on the bench. So what you're seeing there with regards to rotation is as long as it gets. And obviously, Dennis and Lonnie are out injured. So we've played nearly everyone available already. Trenton Watford is probably the other guy that gets minutes tonight, a 9-man rotation. Obviously, we aren't shooting the ball too well. Have hit a couple of threes, but if it wasn't for Bridges, it would be straight donuts in that regard. No turnovers. That's a really good sign. You don't want to give teams that are probably really down on confidence. So to be able to not give them 3 points because we're turning the ball over, like, that's a really good sign. Really good sign. 9 of 20, though, would like to see a bit of improvement in that regard. But, I mean, we're leading and, well, they're finding it quite difficult to score. So, pretty good start. You're at the Barclays watching the game. What are you doing on the stream then, buddy? Watch the game, mate. Come on, my guy. Happy heat wave here in New South Wales. Distract me, please. Yeah, well, we had ours yesterday and the day before that. I can only see it worsening from here, though. I'm a loyal fan. You're such a loyal fan that you've got the stream and and you're actually at the game. Talk about dedication. You're watching the game in more than one way. I mean, that's commitment right there. Got to appreciate it, though. Got to love it. So we are back from the timeout. O'Neal to Cam Thomas. I don't know how you're doing that, though, because I'm pretty sure I'm behind. Cam Thomas, that is a tough deep 2 over Koulibaly. I don't know why he's shooting that. Now Avdia is going to push the pace. My goodness, that is a good shot. Cam Thomas here with the foul. Avdia with the make off the glass. +1. And it will be an extra free throw. That is very early offense by the Wizards, but it is a good shot that you're getting within 5 seconds. We couldn't set up with Cam Thomas trying to guard a drive. And when you've got like a 6'8" wing going downhill, that is not ideal. You want your O'Neals or your Dorian Finney-Smiths or Claxton in the way. Unfortunately, we had none of those players even in the vicinity to do that sort of thing. Avdia misses the free throw, so I feel like that's a bit unlike him. I don't know what his free throw splits are. Bridges remains in, so it looks like he's going to play the entire first quarter. O'Neal faked the pass to the corner, instead gave it to Clax in the middle. He's going to take on Gallinari and score for 2. And we were just talking about how Clax is a little bit of an underrated sort of player around the basket in the interior, around the restricted area. We need to test that a little bit more. Keep feeding him. Kispert for 3 was ready to fire, but he missed. And now Claxton with the board, and he'll bring it up himself. Bridges, screen set by Clax. Bridges falling out of bounds, threw it into the backcourt. He was looking for Finney Smith, and it was the right idea, but the wrong execution. And we will have to defend again with 80 seconds left in this first quarter. If you are enjoying the stream, of course, it's important that you show your support and indicate that you are enjoying it. So make sure to do that. Make sure to like and subscribe as well. If you are new, we'll be back for Nets Kings, which will be a ripper of a contest. Bridges with the block. Cam Thomas will send it out of bounds. That is excellent news. Usually that's Royce O'Neal doing it, but instead Royce O'Neal had to chase a pass out of bounds. So another missed opportunity by the Nets. It was a good block by Bridges. Clean block. I mean, he's been lifting defensively as well, which is exactly what we need from him. A little bit of everything. Avdia for 3. You knew it was well short, but the Nets didn't read that, and the Wizards got the long rebound. Gallinari will put the ball on the floor. Give it to Kispert, who drives. He had the ball knocked away by Cam Thomas, and it will be another opportunity for the Wizards, but they've only got 5 to get a shot up. So 48 seconds left in this quarter. Oh, wow, they've just thrown it away, and there is no numbers back. Finney Smith, the Euro. The layup is good. +1. And that's textbook fast break basketball right there. That's what we love to see. Avdia just a bit soft trying to retrieve the pass there. Finney Smith got rid of one defender with the Euro and then obviously eliminated the second by getting the shot up and then getting fouled as well. Koulibaly probably a little bit overzealous trying to get a block from that position because he was trailing and on the weak side. 8 points off turnovers for the Nets. The Wizards have 0. Gallinari misses another 3. And the Nets are up by 10. We have gone 9 of 13 since starting 2 of 10. A cold start, if you will. Bridges will look for Clax. He gets it to him. And he's blocked by Kispert. Jeez! That is an incredibly good stop by the wing. I didn't think he had that in him. But apparently I'm supposed to be surprised. Butler drives on Claxton. Good move. And scores as the shot clock expires for 2 over Claxton. It was actually a really nifty move. Good switch of hands on that crossover. I mean, you couldn't really afford to blink, to be honest. It is quarter time here. It is 26-18. Delay's bad. And Barclays Wi-Fi is not bad, but not good. It's my hotspot. Yeah, I mean, it's partially to do with my end and how quickly things get transferred over to you. Yeah, I'm not really 100% sure. Can you show the box score? I will in a second. Seeing Bridges practice is crazy. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he probably just knocks down shots for fun in shoot around. Alrighty. It's time for the box score check. And if you are enjoying, you know what to do. Make sure to show your support on it and sub if you are new as well. Bridges has started pretty good. 8 points, 3 rebounds. You love to see it. He's also got a block in there as well. And we've only had a couple of turnovers, which is nice. But they were starting to pile up a little bit at the back end, which is not so good. Hopefully that is not a trend of what's to come. We aren't shooting the ball well from 3, but overall shooting the ball well when we get into the paint. So I think that's got to be a point of emphasis. 14 rebounds to 12, winning that pretty nicely. The Wizards are shooting it abysmally from 3, but that makes it all the more interesting as to why they are still in the game, having only made 8 field goals. They have had 5 turnovers as well, so you would have thought that an 8-point lead for the Nets would actually be a little bit more, but it isn't. So there is an opportunity to reinforce the lead. I do think Bridges and Johnson will get more time because we don't have a guard rotation, really. I do think that those two will get more minutes because there are less minutes to go around. So potentially more time for Cam to cook as well. So it's going to be interesting to see if we can reinforce this lead or the Wizards, are able to get back into the game. In the first game against the Wizards, I think that we did have a very sizable lead in the first quarter, and then the Wizards just, stormed back and nearly won the game. Like, with 3 minutes to go, they led by 4, and it could have easily been 7 or 8, and we would have been absolutely done. So we've got to ensure that we don't have any slip-ups if we do get a good lead. Thomas is doubled. Clax gets it across to O'Neal and now to the corner for DFS. Back to O'Neal. Oh my god, that is a deep 3 and it hits back iron. That's the problem with O'Neal. Sometimes he stalls because he's too busy doing pump fakes and faking the pass. He just loves a good fake. And sometimes I do feel like his performances are fake. It's not actually an indication of what he's actually good or shit at. That is a 3 hit by Muscala, who I have not seen play basketball in a very long while. Cam Thomas will pick up his dribble. He's picked up by Butler. That is not Jimmy. Cam Thomas, the runner. That's off. Thomas did well to chase up the rebound and nearly force a tie-up, but unfortunately, gods weren't on his side because he was falling out of bounds. It will be Wizards ball. So it'll be inbounded by Washington at the 11-minute mark of this second quarter. Butler will give it to Muscala. Kispert on the outside. Good roll by Muscala, and he is fouled, and he nearly got it to go. It will be 2 shots, though, at the free throw line. And, well, they've got to be a little bit better watching this roll because, Muscala can shoot the 3, so as we saw there, Claxton was he ended up guarding Kispert, and Johnson was trailing that Muscala run right through the lane. So we've got to be a little bit more alert watching that and sort of block off that run. Muscala makes the first free throw to cut the lead to 4. I almost think that the Wizards perform better with their bench. It looks good when they're knocking down difficult shots, Kuzma and, what's his name, Jordan Poole, but, those shots aren't high efficiency, so more often than not, they're not going to go in. O'Neal's open for 3, and he is well short on it. Finney-Smith bats it back out to Dinwiddie, and now Johnson was wide open in the exact same spot, and he had the exact same result. Dinwiddie another 3. That's off. O'Neal with the rebound. We're going to have a 4th opportunity. This is ridiculous. Claxton's going to back down Kispert and miss the layup, and somehow 4 shots, 4 misses. And nearly all of them were wide open as well. There is just something about playing Washington. We cannot hit shots. In the first game, we barely grazed the 100. Kispert's off for 3, and we nearly screwed up the rebound because of a lack of communication, but Johnson was there as the insurance policy, and now Johnson will drive it on Kispert and shoot a 2. I don't know if he was going for off the backboard or just straight in, and it looked like a pretty ugly shot at the end of it. Dinwiddie with the steal after the pass by the Wizards was wayward. Finney-Smith on the break. He is fouled, and it's going to be Gallinari on the push, who was the guy who committed it. So I mean, I don't think the Wizards want too many situations where they've got Gallinari as the last line of defense, even though he is the tallest man in for Washington at this current stage. Or, no, he's not. Muscala's a bit taller, I think. Finney Smith at the free throw line for a couple of trips already, which is something you don't usually say because he sits on the perimeter. But I guess we've put the Wizards in a really vulnerable spot when they are contesting the interior. They've got players under there that they don't want actually playing defense under the basket. And they've given away free throws because of it. It doesn't help they're turning the ball over at a ridiculous rate at the moment. Butler out to Kispert. To the corner for Avdia. Quick trigger. 3 is good. And it is back down to 2. And this is the bullshit that we continue to see when we're playing shit teams. Johnson. 1-on-1. Why are you shooting contested 3-pointers over Muscala? He didn't even hit the rim, bro. Can we stop shooting the threes, man? At that point, that 3 by Johnson was just forcing it. We're like 2 of 4 or 2 of 13 from the outside. It's ugly viewing from that department. That is off by Butler, but it is a foul on Claxton, and it is another 2 free throws for the Wizards. And that's smart play. That they are playing a much smarter brand of basketball than we are at the moment. We're settling for these bullshit threes, jacking them up, and I have no idea why, because they are clearly not falling and they are clearly low percentage. We were talking before about how Poole and Kuzma are accustomed to shooting low percentage shots. I mean, how many low percentage threes are we going to take? I know that we have like a volume that we want to shoot them at, but like, sometimes this team baffles me, man. O'Neal to the corner for Finney Smith. He did have space. I don't know why he didn't shoot it. Dinwiddie to the corner for Johnson, and he was ready to fire, but so was Dinwiddie. He had an open look. Oh my goodness, we nearly got a steal there. O'Neal knocked it away, but Avdia was able to retain it for the Wizards by batting it to the corner where they had reinforcement. Gallinari in the mid-range, he knocks it down, and the Wizards have the first lead of the game for them. I think that's an assumption, not a fact. Johnson had Finney Smith open in the corner, but that wasn't on. And O'Neal from way downtown for 3. He responds, gets the Nets back in front. And finally, we've actually got a 3-pointer to go. But I wouldn't imagine that that is a high percentage 3 either by any player, let alone Royce O'Neal. Gallinari's got Dinwiddie on him in the post. And he is going to face up, shoot over the top. It's a good contest by Spencer. And I guess that helps. It helps when you're 6'6". Dinwiddie just got by Gallinari, but he was fouled, so play has been stopped. And I believe that is his 3rd personal, and we are, well, we've still got a long, long way to go in this one. So, inbounded from the side. Kuzma will return, replacing Gallo, who has picked up his 3rd. So Wizards can retake the lead. It's been a pretty good game by them, even though they're not shooting it well and they're turning the ball over. I mean, the Nets aren't really doing much to capitalize. They're giving this Wizards team a reprieve. O'Neal again from the same spot for the 2nd consecutive possession. It's off. Chased up by Johnson after it was in dispute, and now Finney Smith. Claxton fakes the handoff, drives on Muscala, scores again for 2. This guy is unstoppable in the paint. He has done the same move like 3 times over. I don't know why when the threes aren't falling, you don't go for those sort of looks. They are on offer. Muscala to Jones on the outside. Kuzma will take on O'Neal. Back him down, turn around, forced into a pass. Jones out to Kispert. They've got 3 to shoot. He shoots over Claxton, and he doesn't even hit the rim. So that is great defense there by multiple parties. O'Neal to Dinwiddie, who drives. The layup over the top. He is fouled by Muscala, and he has words for the ref. He is utterly confused with the reasoning behind that call. We do have a timeout at the 6:29 mark. It is 33-30. And, yeah, it's a bit of a stinky watch at the moment. Just got to make shots and at least try to defend on the other end. Well, I think the shots will have, making shots will have a ripple effect on everything else that happens in this game. Crowd is loud. Brooklyn fans are different. Happy to being at the Barclays. Well, apparently we're getting really good crowds there, good sellouts. That is a goal of mine, to watch a Nets game, probably in the next 2-3 years. Is that a stupid idea? I don't know. This is why Washington isn't far behind us in points. Well, yeah, we just stink. We just stink at the moment. Can I watch this? What do you mean? Well, you're watching this. You're watching the stream, but I don't think you can watch the game if you're watching the stream. Then again, you may be watching the game and watching the stream, or you may be at the game and watching the stream, as Caden is apparently. So, I mean, there's all sorts of situations you may be in right now. We can't buy a basket. 100% true. What are we doing? Don't know. If you're an OG Spencer Dinwiddie, you know he played with the Pistons for his first NBA team. Well, yeah. And then he got let go. Actually, I don't think he started on the Pistons. Or did he? No, he got drafted by the Pistons. Then he got let go. Or sorry, he got traded to the Bulls. Then they let him go. And then we picked him up off free agency, I do think. And then he went off in the 2017-18 season, which was my first season of properly following this team. This is the situation box score-wise at the moment. The inefficiency runs rife in this team at the moment. We're 36% from the field and 20% from three on 16 shots. That is woeful. Got to focus on getting to the free throw line a little bit more. The good thing is 7 offensive rebounds and only the 2 turnovers, but got to just drive it, man. We are 10 of 20 inside the three-point line, and we continue to shoot nearly half of our shots from the outside. I don't really get it. I mean, they will start falling, but I don't know why we're forcing it. Cam Johnson's shooting it like shit. Dinwiddie, again, is shooting it like trash. Cam Thomas hasn't shot the 3 really at all, but he's not shooting it well generally. The good thing is the Wizards are 39% from the field, and they are somehow worse from the three-point line. They're 15%. So, I mean, it is just really dire viewing-wise in this matchup. I don't know why. It is just Nets playing the Wizards. Both teams can't shoot the ball. I don't get it. We have only conceded 30 points. We've only conceded 30 points, man. So the Wizards have challenged this. They've challenged this foul call that was, committed by Muscala on the Dinwiddie drive. That, they may win that, actually. They may win that. It's a very... Yeah. It's going to be overturned. Okay. Jump ball. So it's not a foul. It is a jump ball. So the Wizards, using the challenge effectively. And obviously you have that second challenge now if you win it. So that is a smart call. If you're adamant that you did not foul someone, then I guess you got to take that chance some of the time. And it's a good, they've taken their chance. They have taken their opportunity there. It's Koulibaly who's going to go in the jump ball. They've got Kuzma and Muscala on the floor, but they're going with Bilal Koulibaly, who, I don't know what his wingspan is, but never mind. They're not allowed to do that. It has to be Muscala. Koulibaly looks like he has a fucking huge wingspan. What's going on? don't even know what's going on here because the Wizards won the jump ball, but I don't really know what's just happened there because the Wizards were off and running. Kispert read the fall of the ball pretty well, but apparently it's Nets ball. I don't even know how to explain that one. Bridges the drive. Oh my goodness, he's tried one high off the window. Wasn't able to get the bounce. Trailer is Koulibaly. Blocked by Bridges from behind. That's the second block of the game. Jones will drive and kick it out to Kispert. Shoots over Claxton. Barely even registered with the rim. And we have exceeded the halfway point of the first half, with both teams not even halfway through the 30s. Oh my goodness, Dinwiddie tried to put Muscala on a poster. Didn't go. Jones throws up a wild layup and missed it as well. Good defense by Doe. Claxton rim runs and the layup finish. Oh, that's a quality find by Mikal, and Claxton is just too mobile, too athletic. And unfortunately, I think Koulibaly was the matchup. He wasn't able to keep up. The Wizards do respond, though, with a nice little roll action. Dinwiddie now one-on-one with Kuzma. He will get the high screen from Clax. He'll pass it to O'Neal. Ready to shoot the three. That was way too high arcing. You could see it on release. And now the Wizards can tie or cut it to 1. Kuzma will drive on Finney-Smith. The layup does not get the bounce. The angle was no good. Dinwiddie will drive again. Clax will roll again. It probably was on that pass, but instead Dinwiddie holds and is doing his isolation bullshit. Watch him shoot a three. Yep, he shot it, and he fucking missed it. What is he even thinking, bro? I don't even understand this, man. Stop shooting the three. My God. I can't be asked with this. Bro, there's so many weapons on our team that we can utilize, but we're going with Dinwiddie isolations. I don't understand it. Bridges is on the floor. Thomas is back on the court as well, so Finney-Smith to the bench. Claxton also leaves. Sharp returns. Jones, the skip pass to Kuzma. He's got Bridges on him. Changes direction. Gets into the paint. Watford's in. Bridges there defensively, but Kuzma scores the hook shot, and the lead is cut to 1. So, can we just get Bridges some touches here? I mean, he's got Koulibaly on him. Dayron got the pass, and I think they were looking for the lob pass, but instead it was a bit shallower. Dayron had to do it in 2 actions, but he was able to get it done. So 2 points for Dayron, lead back up to 3. Another miss by Jones, and now Watford has also checked in, so that's pretty cool. It's Cam Thomas, Dinwiddie, Bridges, Dayron, and I forgot the other person. Bridges scores for 2 more. A nice little turnaround J at the edge of the paint. It's back up to 5. And Jones will drive. Layup is good over Dayron Sharp, and that was one of those ones where you don't know whether to play drop or commit to the... Yeah, you don't really know. You're sort of in that middle ground. We're trying to defend the pick and roll if you're playing drop. You don't really know who to pick up. Dayron put the ball on the floor, but Gafford was there with the rejection, and we've got 6 to shoot. 3 and a bit minutes to play in this first half, and I mean, it's been a good watch defensively if you're looking at it from that perspective, but if you go glass half empty, man, I mean, it's pretty simple. You just say, well, offense has sucked. Dayron waits and scores over Gafford. So, bro, the centers are having real success in there. Koulibaly blocked by Dayron, but I think Cam's going to be hit with the foul. Bro, Dayron loves a good block and a good aggressive block. Is it on him? I don't even know. Dayron's really improved from the season before, man. Bro, if that was the foul on... I don't really know what Dayron's supposed to do there. Koulibaly misses the first free throw. I mean, Dayron's jumped into Koulibaly, which, yeah, that's fine. I mean, if he's trying to get the block, though, what's he supposed to do? It is a foul. But it's like, what is he supposed to do? Koulibaly will shoot the second free throw, and that one will go down. So splits the pair. It is down to 4. Amazingly enough, despite both teams, well, even with both teams shooting badly, no one has really gotten separation or taken an opportunity to gain some separation. Bridges scores for 2 more, though, and it is a 6-point lead. The Wave the Nets. Poole is back in. He drives on Watford, who is, well, that's his assignment. Now, Kuzma in a switch with Watford. And another switch. Bridges will guard Kuzma on this drive. Kuzma lost the ball. Watford with the rebound. Good verticality by I believe it was Dayron. Watford walks a tightrope. Then gives it to Thomas. Thomas in the mid-range. Stops and hops. And doesn't get the lift. Dayron with the follow. +1. The persistence on the boards. You just know what you're going to get from Dayron, man. He's been so good today. Another good performance by him. Had the positioning. You see that all the time. He gets that good positioning. He very rarely gets muscled off it. And look, we're seeing the benefits, really. So, 45-37 the score at this point in the game. We'll see what you're saying in chat. If you are enjoying, you know what to do. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe as well. Harry Giles could maybe play tonight. We can't play him because Harry Giles is the third choice. Dayron is second. Flax is number 1. It's really that simple. People trying to say we need to play Giles. How are you going to play Giles? You can't play him at the 4. I don't even want to try experimenting that. Because if it goes bad, we could actually let the game slip. Because we're just putting out stupid rotations. Put Harry in at the 4. I don't believe that. I don't have faith in that move. Because I don't think he's ever played the 4. He's played the 4 in garbage time and people have said, oh, mate, he scored 6 points in garbage time. Let's play him some regular minutes. He probably can hoop. But there's so many players that need to get time on this team. Like Dayron in 7 minutes, 10 points, 4 boards, 1 assist. I don't think Giles can space that much. That's just an assumption, though. I don't actually know for sure. We are shooting abysmally from 3, but we are getting held together by these offensive rebounds and the lack of turnovers. We've gotten 10 points from Dayron off the bench, which is awesome. He is nearly leading the way in scoring. Mikal Bridges has had a good half as well, even though scoring probably has dried up a little bit from him. I mean, everyone cannot score the ball in this game. Mikal's had a really good game, though. Good all-round game. Defensively been alert and active. Claxton needs to get more touches, man. He's only got 5 shots. When you're seeing the efficiency of our guards again, and even Cam Johnson today, we need to feed Clax a little bit more under the basket because he's been pretty tough to stop. He's been very assertive in that regard. O'Neal's missed a ton of threes. Doe's been very active, 14 minutes, done a little bit of everything, which you'll love to see from him. But once again, we're calling on the guards, bro. The guards have got to wake up. It was the same the last game. We could not get any sort of output from our guards. Far out, man. Dayron makes the free throw, converts the and 1, and the lead is now 9. So getting a little bit of separation here, which, I mean, we had a little moment of that sort of separation in the back end of the first quarter. That is going to be a foul on Johnson, who just checked back in, and I believe it was a block. So, do we have free throws, do we? How was that on the gather? I've seen, Dinwiddie shots not be called on the gather for something very similar. It's 46-38. Late in this first half. 2 minutes to play or so. And the Wizards have 1 free throw to come here. It is currently 8-point lead. Avdia's second free throw is good. So he's been to the free throw line a little bit today. This 3-point shooting's been really bad, though, from both sides. I mean, we've only seen 5 threes for the game. Dayra on the spin again. This time he's blocked. Johnson, the no look after getting the offensive rebound at Thomas. Watford, the runner, is good. Good little bit of movement there by him. He was on the perimeter. Found that little bit of space. Exploited it. Good defense by Bridges, who knocked it away. Then Jones nearly was wayward with the pass. Oh, wow, that was a saucy dime to Kuzma, except he lost the ball. Thomas, Bridges, and they've lost the ball again. So we have all our numbers committing, and they can just raffle it. I mean, we committed all our numbers to our own fast break. That the minute we turned the ball over, we had no numbers back. That is pretty inexcusable. You should not be turning the ball over from that position. I think we needed someone to slow things down just a little bit. Thomas going to drive on Jones. Going to absolutely get rid of him and score with one hand. That is tough. Tough. Just got rid of the assignment. And it was basically an uncontested layup at that point. Good response by Jones. So back up, or back down. There was a 7-point deficit for the Wizards to make up. Would like to see a couple of baskets here by the Nets. Thomas lost the ball again. And what? What? How the fuck is that their ball? Probably blindsided by the broadcast view, but I have no idea how that is Wizards ball. Avdia going to drive over 2 defenders, gets the bounce, and it is down to 5. And it's all sprung because we could not score and capitalize on a fast break possession. Watford gets by the closeout, and the push shot is off. The rebound should be... No. Well, JV does not want a timeout. He's not going to use it. I mean, that'd be stupid. We've got 1 possession left in the half. Why would you call a timeout? To challenge something that probably... Well... At best, it was going to give us another possession. It wasn't going to give us any free throws. Jones, Kuzma, going to drive. And he was fouled. What the fuck, man? Fuck off, mate. What are you doing? That is the... How many times this season has Cam Thomas fouled? How many times has he... This is going to be a 2+1, man. How many fucking times is Cam Thomas going to commit a foul as the shot clock is winding down in a quarter of basketball? He's done this like 4 times this season, I believe. Let's have a look. That is a foul. The thing is, though, he got the shot up with 0.3 to go. So I don't really know if we're going to have any time on the clock, because the foul looked like it came at 0.7, but he got the shot off at 0.3 and it went down as the shot clock expired. So what does it get called as? Actually, fuck off, man. Seriously, how many times... Is he going to do this season? Cam Thomas is arguing the point with the ref. It's going to be 50-47 at least. We've got 0.3 to see what's going to happen here. Sorry, we've got 1 second. Thomas is going to go to the bench. I don't really know. Well, I mean, we've got 1.2 seconds to get a shot up if he makes it. This is a disappointing end to the first half, I have to say. We had a good opportunity to get on with it. That is a missed free throw. No! Oh my god, we let him get the rebound as well, and he nearly could have cut it to 1. So that's the half. And look, we probably couldn't be playing much worse than we are on the offensive side of the ball. It has been ugly. Really, really ugly. This is the exact same script for the last time we played Washington. That was a game where both teams were struggling to even push 100 points. It looks like we're going to get to a similar point in this one. If we go to the box score, as far as I'm concerned, Bridges only taking 9 shots is not good enough. Let me just get the box score up. We gave away 29 points in that quarter, and it wasn't because of the turnovers. I don't even think it was because of... Hold on. I don't even think it was because of the points they were scoring, because they weren't really scoring it better than they were in the first quarter. It's just the free throws. We forced a few less turnovers in the quarter, but it's just... I don't really get it, man. We have had an opportunity here to be up by 15 at the half. But you know what? I think that's a good thing. I think that's a good thing we're only up by 3. Because it's the wake-up call at halftime. We can go into the break and be like, we're well and truly aware that we are not getting shown up, but we have a game on our hands, and we've got to ensure that this one doesn't slip. So I think the fact that the Wizards are in the game now is probably going to give us, I hope it does, I hope it gives us the motivation we need to absolutely, put the foot on the throat and just say we've got to well and truly kill off the Wizards in this second half. I mean, they're not shooting the ball well. They are shooting it abysmally. 43% isn't too bad from the field. It's below average, but that 3-point shooting is abysmal. The 7 turnovers probably should have forced a few more, but I think the real problem is we're not really scoring off turnover. So all these defensive possessions that we can praise at halftime, they're not resulting in anything. Or they're resulting in probably less than what they should. If we go to the Nets, my God, 39% from the field. So we've got 12 more shots. We have had 18 threes and only made 3. This is the bipolar Nets experience which we're witnessing here. Only the 3 turnovers. That's another interesting thing. We're barely turning it over. The offensive rebounding is a really good thing to look at as well. But yet again, like the turnovers we're creating, with the offensive rebounds we're generating, we aren't scoring from those either. Not nearly enough. Dayron's had a really good half. 11 points in 9 minutes is pretty quality. Claxton has been on the court for 15 minutes, only had the 5 shots. Dayron has had the most shots out of anyone. He's equal with Bridges and Cam. I don't know why we're not exploiting things similarly with Claxton in the game. He's played 15 minutes, only 5 shots. How has Dayron got 9 shots in 9 minutes? This should be the rate that Claxton is getting fed, because he's capable with the shots he scored today. Cam Thomas has just looked a little bit weak again. Not weak, but weak in terms of, not weak physically, weak in terms of the impact he's having. Dinwiddie's been pretty shit. 2 steals and 4 assists, I guess, if you want to take the glass half full approach. But he only has 2 points and he's 1 of 8 and he's on the court for 17 minutes. It's not going to cut it. The fact 5 of those are threes is a problem to me because he is not... Well, the shots he's been taking are not high percentage by his standards. He's good on catch and shoots, but, mate, he's taken a lot of isolated, off-the-dribble 3-pointers. And Cam Johnson, not as much him, but I would like to see him attack the basket a little bit in the second half because both of those have good craft at the rim. I don't know why they're not taking more there. I think that's got to be the emphasis in the second half, except for Royce O'Neal. He's got to stop taking threes altogether. I mean, they probably will start falling, but that being said, the guy, yeah, he cannot drive the basketball. It's as simple as that. He cannot shoot it. So I do expect or hope that, like, if he is going to shoot the ball, he shoots threes, because every time he tries a layup, it is arguably worse than the threes that he misses. Okay, let's have a quick look at the chat. If you are enjoying, make sure to drop a like on it as well, and subscribe as well. If you are new around here, we do as many of these as we can. We will start with next week's game against the Kings. That'll be the first of quite a few games in the West, on the West Coast. The Kings, the Warriors, the Nuggets, there's probably Phoenix in there. So those will be a good a good bunch of games to sort of gauge where we're at as a team this season. It should be really good fun. So we will start from Tuesday if you're in Australia, and Monday night if you're in America. It'll be a late Monday night if you're on the eastern side of America. So gear up for that. Over here, it's going to be an afternoon game, so that's going to be pretty unprecedented. I don't think we've had one of those this season yet. Let's have a look at what the chat is saying. I've Nets -1.5 spread, Mavs money line, and Devin Booker to get more than 5.5 rebounds. The only thing I understand about that is Devin Booker getting more than 5.5. I don't understand what money line is. Although I am seeing your return, and obviously there may be a little bit of merit in doing that. Harry is one of those players that needs time too. I know, but we can't give all these players time. Like, you're playing Giles at the 4, but we know all too well. Look at the minutes O'Neal and Finney-Smith have got off the bench. Where are the Giles minutes coming from? You know, like, it's one of those things where I don't think you can I don't think we can afford to experiment. I think O'Neal and Finney-Smith, like, they have enough of a body of work that you can afford to play both of them. With Giles, it's a little bit different because he's come back off like 3 years out of the NBA, and he's probably playing a position that he isn't natural in if you play him at the 4, and he's taking minutes away from those guys that are more experienced and probably bring a little bit more to the table. So it's one of those things where, like, I don't think you can do anything about it. There's not enough minutes to go around. Let's have a look. So many games we found needlessly with only seconds left in the quarter. I think the one that Cam just conceded was one that you get more disappointed by. It wasn't like, it's one of those fouls where it's sort of incidental and you can't do much about it, but it's just the fact, like, the situation of the quarter, like, we let them go on a late quarter run again. That's the frustrating part. Is Cam Thomas being double teamed? Some of the time. If, like, the more Cam handles the rock, the more he is prone to getting double teamed. It's really that simple. The less he does, if he, like, is on the run, receives the pass, you know, takes 3 dribbles to get to his spot and shoots it, it's going to be a lot tougher for Wizards players to be able to react to what's going on and double team. So I think we need to do a little bit more of that, but there are some looks there that Cam probably should be making, but just they're not going down at the moment, which is a little bit annoying. Clax looks like he's lost his mojo, no spark lately. I don't even think it's that. I just don't think he gets enough touches of the ball. He just doesn't get enough of it. He's got 7 rebounds and 6 points. And he's not shooting it badly. He should not be having only 5 shots in a half, though. I think he's far better than that. And I don't think that's a problem on him. That is a problem with the other players on the team that need to give him the ball. It's the same with Bridges. Like, he should not only have 9 shots in a half. We said this last game as well. We said last game he was shooting the ball really efficiently, and we were like, well, the guy's just come off a 42-point game and you've only given him 6 shots in a half of basketball. What are you doing? Then in the second half, he comes out, takes complete control of the game, and takes over. And that's how we won the game, because we gave Bridges the ball, gave him responsibility, and, job done. I did see a stat that Bridges is, well, he's got the second best field goal percentage of any player who's got like a ton of buckets in the clutch. He's had like 34 attempts, and he has scored like 20 of his 38 or whatever it is, which is a really good percentage. Really good percentage. I mean, it's probably speaking volumes about the close games we constantly find ourselves in. It looks like we're going to be in another dogfight today, which I'm not really happy about. It's yet again certain players that are weighing us down. Let's do some more math, all right? Let's do some more math. Time to get the calculator out. Okay. So we combine Cam Thomas, Dinwiddie, Johnson. Okay, so 4 of 17, 5 of 23. Okay, so those 3 players have taken 10 threes and not made 1. So you remove those, and instantly your 3-point percentage is 3 of 8. So, yeah, it's like, that is 10 extra shots. If we could have even scored half of those, or converted half of those shots, those misses, to 2-pointers that we possibly could have made, we're up by 10. Like, it's really simple when you dumb it down like that. 5 of 23 from the field is 22%. 5 of 23. If you remove those 3 players, 5 of 23, you would have a shooting at 52%, 51.6, whatever you want to do, or whatever you want to call it. So those 3 players right there are weighing this team down, at least in this specific game. Last game, it was Dinwiddie and Cam. And this game, it's Dinwiddie, Cam, and Johnson. Oh, well, we put Claxton in the mix last game as well. And it was a very similar reading as well. So we've got to get more from these guys. And, well, we did see Spencer Dinwiddie go off in the last quarter, which was well and truly needed. That was another key to us getting the separation we needed, albeit very marginal separation. Maybe playing with KD and Kyrie was motivating for Clax. I think that's a very shallow assumption. This is just my opinion. I would be very interested to hear your take on why you think he's lost his mojo. That's just, like, from my perspective, I don't think that is a narrative, but if that's how you view it, obviously I'm not gonna I can criticize it. I mean, that's an important, it's important to have good discussions, good not hostile discussions, of course. Discussions that are civilized. Yeah, we do play Phoenix, we play Denver, Sacramento, Golden State. So we'll be doing the first 3, and then we'll be back next week for Utah, New York, Denver, and Detroit. We play 8 games in 2 weeks. That's really good. We've got a lot of Nets basketball coming your way, so if you want to stay tuned for that, make sure to subscribe. But we are just about to return for the second half. Clax absolutely shone with KD. Have we changed our game style to the detriment of Clax? I don't know. I just think... Well, the offense was flying. There is Clax right on cue. The alley-oop lob by Spencer, and he found Clax, and Clax got it done. That's 8 points, 7 rebounds. I don't think Clax played a bad half. I don't think he's lost his mojo ever. I think he's the same player. He just, he looks less G'd up, I think. Jordan Poole's just been hit with an offensive foul. It looks like he plowed his elbow into the midriff of Mikal Bridges. I think there's less opportunity for rim running. I think with Ben playing, it'd be a different conversation altogether. I think Clax would get a lot more lobs. He could use that athleticism a little bit more. Dinwiddie to the corner for Johnson. Runs baseline. Good verticality. And there is a foul. What the fuck? Offensive foul? What? Gafford is sore. Let's have a look at the replay. Oh my god. Have a look. So he went up and hit Gafford in the nuts, but I don't really know how he's supposed to jump without using his leg to get up. Claxton with the swat, Dinwiddie with the save, and now he'll bring it up and we'll push the pace again. Dinwiddie will drive. The runner, he's fucking missed it again. I mean, I like the fact that he's taken a shot on the interior, but brother, what the hell, man? Gafford's at the free throw line for 2. What's the score? I've lost track. So, where was the foul there? So, 2 free throws coming up for Gafford. Is Dayron coming in? I think it's because Claxton has, well, multiple fouls piling up. Bro, we've got to play through our big rotation. Those two have combined for 20 points in, well, inefficient minutes. So, Gafford made the first free throw. Dayron's checked in for Clax. And it's off by Gafford. Dayron the board. Dinwiddie will handle traffic. Pass to Dayron, top of the key. Cam Thomas on the wing. Uses the screen. Shoots the mid-range. That is an open look. He can't make it. Dayron, good fight. Gets the board. Bounce past to Johnson. He scores for 2. Dayron. Superb. Superb. Yet again, persistence on the glass pays dividends. Kuzma will roll it back to the outside. The switch. Bridges now guards Kuzma. They give it to Avdia, top of the key. He drives on Johnson. Got rid of Johnson and scored over Johnson. So, 54-50. Dinwiddie will get that screen again. Pass to Johnson. Cutter. And Cam Thomas is open for 3 and he can't score it. I mean, you cannot ask for a more open look than that, and Cam can't knock it down. Kuzma stops and waits. The kick out to Avdia. Poole gets by the closeout. Bro, Johnson was napping for a moment there. Dayron with the block! What the fuck are we seeing here? This guy is on one. Bro. He is nearly our best player in the game today. He's been really authoritative. Another miss by the Wizards. Dinwiddie. One-on-one with Jones. I beg you, drive it, man. Cam Thomas uses the screen on Dayron. Pass to Bridges and now Johnson. Knocked away by Poole. He got it back. 3 to shoot. Thomas contested 3. Oh my God, he's banked it in. Sometimes you just need luck to go your way, and I guess that is the basketball gods checking in and recognizing it. Avdia over the shoulder to Poole on the outside. Kuzma the response. Yep. Score one of the most difficult shots, and then they just respond with a very easy 3-pointer. Good ball movement by the Wizards. Johnson to the corner for Thomas. Mid-range again. He's just going to keep on firing, and he missed that one. I beg we just keep feeding Bridges, bro. Kuzma the layup. He blew it. Dayron on the board. Bridges will push it. Come on, please score this. Thomas is open in the corner. Gets by the closeout. Good move. Johnson, the opposite corner. 3! And we've got a timeout called by the Wizards. It's back up to 7. And I think we just need... It's really as simple as who is going to score the ball at a higher rate. Because right now, both teams can't score it. The minute someone catches fire, I think it's a wrap for the opposition. Blacks is good, but he's no Royce O'Neal. Suns and Denver are back-to-back, I think. They are. And we'll be doing both of those, so make sure to hang around for those. Dayron has really come along this year. I hope he becomes a dominant big for us in years to come. Yeah, I think he's a great backup big. I don't think he's anything more than that. But I do think he can develop into a very, very good rotational big that can come off the bench and have a strong impact. I don't really know too many centers in the league that are, super impactful off the bench. You see a lot of starting centers that are really dominant, but you don't see too many centers off the bench that have huge impact. Dayron's had a really good amount of impact today. Really high energy, good persistence. He's got 11 points and 9 rebounds in 12 minutes with 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, shooting it well, gotten to the line, 4 offensive rebounds. We lead that battle by 10, and he's been a strong part. And the threes, well, at halftime, it was 3 of 18 from the outside, and we have gone and converted 2 of 3. So nearly matching the mark we set in the first half on 15 less shots, and the shooting looks to have increased percentage-wise. We've got 15 extra shots than them. They've just got more free throws, and that's probably keeping them alive in a game where they're turning the ball over a fair bit more. Got to get Bridges more looks, though. Cam Thomas taking 13 shots. The inefficiency is really hurting at the moment. But if he if he catches fire, then it could be a good thing. But I'm not too optimistic about it. I think the really interesting thing is that Dayron Sharp, Claxton picked up only his 3rd foul, and very quickly was JV very assertive to bring in Dayron. It's now we do have that insurance policy. We have that player off the bench. It's not as simple as saying, well, Claxton needs to play 35 minutes because we don't have a backup big. We have Dayron on the bench sitting there ready to have an impact. And he is. He's got 11 points, 9 rebounds. He's had a superb game. A block, a steal, good couple of dimes. Can't ask for more from your backup big. The score by Kuzma out the timeout cuts it to 5, and now Dinwiddie will hand it off to Dayron. Good pass to Bridges. That was really smart body use. Pushed Kuzma under it. Dayron just had to send it over the top, and Bridges had an open layup presented to him right there. Poole will drive on Bridges. Good defense, but Poole's able to score over the top, and he cuts it back down to 5. So another one of these tightly contested games where there's not really much separation to be had. Bridges gets the bounce. that only shooters are supposed to get and be entitled to. Jones. Wizards will look for a response yet again, which they have been really good at in this game. Kuzma just completely removed Dinwiddie. And as a result, he's going to be hit with the offensive foul at the 7:03 mark of the third quarter. And yeah, it was just a little shoulder barge there to completely remove Dinwiddie from the situation. Alrighty. So Dinwiddie to Dayron. Top of the key, looking for that pass again. Bridges on the wraparound. Dinwiddie to the corner for Cam Thomas. Right in front of the bench. He got it. And that is his second three of the game. Potentially that banker three, top of the key, could open things up a little bit and apply some freedom to Cam Thomas. Good defense by Dayron. Little bit of a pain in the ass there to deal with, and he forced a miss. Thomas going downhill. The scoop! And he wanted the foul as well. He's not going to get it because he doesn't quite have the superstar whistle yet. He is very quick to the bench, so he doesn't pick up a technical arguing the point, but excellent ball movement by the Nets, and that's quality work. So Cam Thomas potentially starting to wake up a little bit here after a really, really slow start yet again. Let's have a look at the chat messages. I admire your loyalty to this team. Keep it up. You're a real one. You gotta show the loyalty. You gotta show the commitment. And I appreciate the commitment to the stream. Those of you who are rocking up on a regular basis, that's something I really appreciate. What's Cam's efficiency? Let's go have a look, ladies and gents. It is 6 of 15, 2 of 4 from 3. I need Bridges with 20 and Kyle Kuzma with 15. Well, Bridges is probably nearly there. You can see by the spotlight. 16 points for Mikal. He is a team high plus 17. I mean, the starters have feasted on this Wizards starting lineup. Cam Thomas is starting to get it ticking over, which is a really good sign for him. And the threes are falling. I mean, first half, 3 of 18 from 3. Second half, 3 of 4. And I think that's a big part as to why we are starting to lift. A couple minutes ago, we were talking about the shooting percentage being 39% and having gone up. It is now at 43%. So that in combination with the lack of turnovers that we've committed throughout the game, this has given us the separation we've needed. And the Wizards really, I mean, they've gotten better from the field, but only marginally. The threes still don't fall, and the free throws have really started to dry up. So that's a little bit problematic for them. But from our perspective, that is exactly what we are looking for. If we're going to shoot like shit, I'm glad it's the Wizards. Yeah, well, that's the good thing. We're getting a reprieve because we're playing shit, essentially. So, yeah, that's... I mean, it's just good timing, and hopefully we get the rust out of our system before we come up against some really good opposition. So we will be there next week for all of those. Okay. Alrighty. So play resumes. The Nets up by a dozen. I believe that is a game high. Jones high off the window over the top of Dayron Sharp, who was chasing up his second block. It was unsuccessful, and the Wizards cut it down to 10. Dinwiddie draws it back, gets into the paint, and scores for 2. And, I mean, he's got Jones on him, who is significantly smaller. So that is something he has to exploit. Shooting the ball really poorly in this game. Spencer's got to be a bit smarter. That pass to Gafford was wayward. Now Thomas gonna drive the Euro. Extra pass. Bridges! +1! And I suspect the Koulibaly was trying to get rid of Bridges, so he had no real role in that. Oh no, that was Jordan Poole. What a shit foul to concede. I mean, that was a great extra feed by Cam Thomas. He caught the defense a little bit off guard, and Jordan Poole, that is just undisciplined fouling there. So the lead's up to 14, and we're starting to really gain a stranglehold on this game, which is, of course, exactly what I've been desiring in the second half. Claxton returns. Bridges at the free throw line converts. He's up to 19. And, I mean, we're really putting the foot on the gas. As I said at halftime, we have to put the foot on the throat and kill them off. We're doing that at the moment. Kuzma looking for a pass to Gallinari. Good closeout by Clax. Forces the pass to Kuzma. Clax now in a switch with Kuzma. Good defense. Koulibaly has no space to shoot the three. Good move. And he scores through Cam Thomas. And it was, well, he had Cam Thomas off balance there. And we didn't quite have enough numbers in the paint to help Cam out. Bridges got rid of Poole and scored for 2. Poole just gave up on the sequence. And he's having conversation with the referee. Bridges up to 21 now. Poole will get it back from Gallinari. The layup is good. And it's score for score. Dinwiddie to Bridges. Gonna drive. Stops. Passed it out. That was a very dodgy pass. It had nowhere near enough power to get to Spencer on the outside. And Tyus Jones with the easy fast break bucket. I don't think they've scored too many points off turnovers. Primarily because we haven't really had any turnovers. Dinwiddie with the step back 3. That wasn't going down in the first half. That is good. It's back up to 14. And we've got about 4 minutes to go in the third with the upper hand. Poole trying to take on Clax. Good defense. Forces the dribble to be picked up. Poole. Loopy pass back out to Gallinari. He's got Bridges on him. The switch. Jones will shoot over Bridges and miss. That is a shot you want to force every day of the week. Cam Thomas will use the high screen. Gets by Jones, who tried to commit to the steal. And as a result, Cam Thomas had a wide open, uncontested mid-range, which he capitalized on and scored for 2. So, oh wow, that's an open 3 by Koulibaly. And I don't know what Spencer was thinking there. He had committed to the restricted area. I mean, that's taking protecting the interior to the next level, honestly. Thomas bounce pass to Clax. He's got Gallinari on him, so he's going to try body him. And the beautiful pirouette. Nice little turn. As I've said all day, why do we not feed him the ball more often? It has actually been a shootout in this quarter. Kuzma scores over Claxton for 2. Good bit of physicality by him. Both teams shooting above 60% in this third quarter. It didn't even look like either side was going to get to 100 points in the first half. Cam Thomas misses the mid-range. And now Koulibaly, early offense, just fell over. Oh, fuck off. How on earth is that a trip? He's called that a trip, and he's just fallen over. Let's have a look. What the fuck is that? No, 100% you challenge that. Bro, if JV, you have to challenge that. You have to challenge that. What are you thinking? What are you saving the challenge for? Challenge it. Challenge it. Challenge it. Challenge it. Bro, JV, man, what are you doing? Giving up 2 points because this guy couldn't even fucking keep balance. And the ball does not lie. He misses the first, well short. That's never a foul. He's just run into him. He almost like dove into him to try and initiate contact. And instead he's looked like a clown because he fell over. It's like someone took the chair out from underneath him. Like, oh, mate, that is an absolutely woeful call. He makes the second one, though. So that's an extra point that they well and truly don't deserve. So Dinwiddie on the outside. We're going to get a timeout. Bro, JV, why the fuck did you not call a timeout 15 seconds ago for that bullshit? And you're calling it now. What's the point of that? I'm a little bit baffled by that decision, but oh well. Well, okay. See if there's any chat messages around. Looks like the offense is coming to life. It is. It's looking not too bad. Well, for both teams, actually. We have scored a grand total of 33 points already in this quarter, so we could be pushing a 40 piece, honestly. This is the Wizards shooting, 22% from three. Barely been to the line in the second half. The shooting has gone up. They're nearly at 50%. But here's the issue. The turnover's number one. And then number two, they're getting smashed in the rebounding department. Most especially the offensive rebounding department, 11-3. And so even though we have not been shooting many free throws, the threes have come to life in this third quarter. We are 4-5 from the outside after going 3 of 18. So I don't know what switch was flicked, but obviously the right one. And we're shooting it pretty well as well. 47 or so percent. Mikal's up to 21 points, which is good. And Cam Thomas has beefed his scoring up to 17, which is always a plus as well. So, yeah, pretty good signs here from the group in this third quarter to get the lead up to a defendable margin going into the break. But obviously there's 2.5 minutes to play. That's off. Claxton fights on the boards and flung it out. It was a foul on Muscala, I do think. And yet again, the rebounding coming in clutch. Bro, Claxton, Dayron, superb center pairing today. We've got to ensure that, unlike the end of the first half, we close this quarter out superbly well. Or even just level it out. Don't concede more than you're giving. Oh my god, Royce! Wow, that's going to be a foul on Muscala. I thought that was going to be the sauciest drive attempt I've ever seen by O'Neal. It was a nice little Euro step. Pump fake, got by the defender. Good gather. Got the shot up. It was a fucking dodgy floater. Every single time he shoots a floater, you already know that the probability of it going in is probably highly unlikely. But at least we're getting some free throws here from Royce. Man, if only Royce O'Neal was as good as his shoes are flashy, then he'd be a damn good basketball player. But unfortunately, we don't live in that timeline. O'Neal shooting the second free throw is good, and he makes both. Gets it back up to 14. Watford is in the game, and I do believe who's on the bench? Currently on the floor, Watford, Finney-Smith, O'Neal, Bridges, and Claxton, the 5 on the floor. So Dinwiddie's on the bench to close out the quarter. Gallinari on the outside over O'Neal. It's off, and Bridges gets the board. I think Gallinari's been a Nets killer in seasons gone by. It's good to see that he hasn't really caught fire today. Where the hell is Bridges going with that? Looks like it was deflected out of play, though. Bro, this is what I don't understand. Why do members of the crowd not actually try to catch the ball? They just wait to get hit. It's actually a bit depressing. Bridges, Claxton, O'Neal at the logo. Ice cream Clax. O'Neal drives. Alley-oop! Oh! And he got hit as well, but the referees did nothing, so it was a 5-on-4 momentarily. Koulibaly shoots the mid-range. I don't know why they didn't capitalize on that. That was a disgusting, ferocious dunk by Clax. O'Neal swings it out to Watford. Bridges the drive in Euro. Royce, Doe, 3, yes! Ah! That's team basketball, ladies and gentlemen. That is beautiful. That is visually appealing. The aesthetic is amazing. And wow, I have no words for that sequence. Really getting a run on. Claxton's been hit in the schnoz again. That is like the second time in 3 possessions where his nose has taken a beating. It's free throws for Clax because we're in the bonus. That dunk is nasty. Wait, so the reason Claxton got hit on the previous dunk was because of the follow-through. It wasn't even on the dunk. Wait, what? We're in the bonus now. That wasn't the foul to get us in the bonus. O'Neal to Bridges. Top of the key. One-on-one with Kispert. Spin. Lost his footing. And I think it's a timeout. Well, this is what I don't get, right? Because what happened earlier in the quarter? You called a fucking foul for the exact same bullshit. They did a move. They fell over. Except this time, it's apparently play on. We called a timeout, though. It's a 19-point lead. Only I can find ways to complain when we're up 19. We got 40 seconds left in the third. And Bridges still has 21 points. Now up to the 4 rebounds. But it's been good to see that this team has sort of gotten a little bit of something extra in this second half. Claxton, bro, second half, 6 points. Had 6 points the whole of the first half. He's got 6 in one quarter. It really helps when you're giving him those high percentage opportunities. Cam's got 17. The efficiency has gone through the roof in this second half for him because I think he started like 3 of 9, so he's 4 of 8 in this quarter. Obviously, they've given him the green light. Dinwiddie was 1 of 8, so he's made 2 of his 3 shots, taken them at a lower volume but a higher efficiency, which I love to see. And I usually make the comment he plays better when that is the situation. Dayron, off the bench, hasn't played too many minutes in the second half, but a good contribution nonetheless. The threes have gone up, man. We were 3 of 18. We've gone 5 of 7 since the main break. So it's been a quality performance offense-wise. In the second half, Claxton gets the offensive board, flings it back out to O'Neal. 3! Oh my god, what the fuck is that? That's like a very early release in 2K. That's like when you press the wrong button combination or just like button mash. That's what it looked like. So we tried to execute a 2-for-1, didn't, then gave up a 3, which was off. We've got 8 seconds to shoot. It's Bridges who will drive on Kispert, bounce past to Finney-Smith. 3 is well and truly off. And then it is going to be quarter over. Bridges once again going for a bit of a slip and slide. That's 3/4 time. And it is a 19-point lead. Whoops. A 19-point lead, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, we just saw the box score, but we scored 40 points in that quarter. We scored 50 the entire first half. We've gone and scored 40 in this quarter alone. As I said, the shooting splits have gone through the roof in the second half. When you looked at what we were delivering in the shooting splits at halftime, we were at, 18% from 3, 36% from the field. Obviously, they have multiplied drastically those numbers. We're out-rebounding them by 15 because we're out-rebounding them on the offensive glass 13-3. The turnovers remain very low, 5. And then the Wizards, you can see, shooting the ball at 45%, which isn't abysmal, but like 4 threes in 3 quarters is never, ever going to place you in a good position. And especially when you can't force a turnover, you're going to be in for a world of pain. They've gotten 15 from Kuzma, 13 from Avdia, 10 from Jones, 9 from Koulibaly, not much else. And And obviously, when you compare their high man to ours, and you see like the contributions we're getting off the bench, yet again, the bench points quality. I think we've got, what have we got? 26 bench points thus far from 4 players. That's pretty good. So yeah, I mean, we could nearly have all 5 starters in double figures, and then we could also nearly have, well, a couple on the bench who are still yet to be in double figures reach double figures. So hope saying double figures like 15 times in 2 minutes wasn't all that confusing. It probably was, though. We are a quarter away from another win. If you are enjoying, make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe as well. We'll be back next week for Nets versus Kings. It'll be a late, well, it won't be a late afternoon here. It'll be an afternoon game here. It will also be a it'll be a late night game if you're on the east. But we'll be here regardless, whatever the weather. Thank God Bridges didn't ruin his ankle. Yeah, I mean, the last thing that can happen in this game now is we get an injury. Because we've nearly got a good bill of health at the moment. We're going to need to, let's put this game to bed early. Oh, that was nearly saved by Muscala. It was an air ball by Denny Avdia. They could not find an open look. As the shot clock expired, they chucked up a pretty bad shot. So, yeah. The Wizards look like they're well and truly going to be facing yet another loss. It is a 19-point lead for the Nets. Something drastic could change, though, but I think the third quarter is an indication, especially with the Royce O'Neal reverse layup, that I don't think anything will change. I think we're playing too well for shit to just, hit the fan. It's a 21-point lead. It didn't look like we were remotely going to reach this point in the second quarter. Kispert, good response with a 3. Good off-ball movement by him. We enter the final 11 minutes of the game. It's Dinwiddie, Finney-Smith, O'Neal, Claxton, and Watford, the 5 on the floor. O'Neal from the wing. It is a splash. Good response yet again. I mean, we are the number 3 ranked offense. So, scoring 45 in this half shouldn't be all that surprising. Koulibaly chased up a rebound and bloody hell, O'Neal. Oh my god, moving 3 by Muscala. That's not a high percentage look. Dinwiddie is going to send it up to Clax. Oh! It's going to be a foul on Kispert. Claxton was falling backwards and still was nearly able to complete the lob attempt. So that's just, yet again, smart personnel recognition. You recognize that Clax has a smaller player on him in the restricted area. You've got to feed him the ball. And sometimes the passes are a little bit dodgy, yet Clax still tries to do it all in one motion. And he nearly did, in all fairness. The first free throw for Clax is off. Didn't have a favorable bounce. We've still got one free throw to come here, though. So second free throw for Clax coming up. It's good. And it is a 22-point lead. Interesting thing that Iron Eagle has brought up is Dinwiddie's got 7 assists. In the first half, he did not look like he even wanted to have any business passing the ball. Avdia lost it and regathered in one motion after removing Dinwiddie from the situation, was able to score. Even still, he's got 7 dimes. He's pushing double figures in assists. In a game where, well, in a half where, or in a game where he had a half that, he didn't even remotely have a sniff, scoring the ball. So for so much bad in the first half, he's done a hell of a lot of good in this second half, and I think he needs to be praised for that as much as he was praised in that last quarter against the Hawks, where we needed contribution elsewhere late in the game, and he was that guy. Finney-Smith out to Dayron, one more for Dinwiddie, who it was originally intended for. Here is Spence. He's just lost it out of bounds. So maybe a little bit of overuse there, but I don't think you can complain too much about that one. That was probably just a bit of nonchalance. Okay. Koulibaly going to drive on O'Neal, shoots over the top, scores in the mid-range. So a couple buckets early in the last for Koulibaly. And now O'Neal will use the Dayron screen. Driving kick, that is deflected out of play. And it is Kispert who knocked it out of bounds. It was intended for Watford in the corner. Alrighty. So ball inbounded to Finney Smith. Watford on the wraparound. Back out to Finney Smith. Ready to fire. And that rimmed out. I mean, it was a good look. Watford tried to take the charge. Good move by Avdia to find Gallo in the corner. He missed it. Fast break opportunity. Dayron the trailer for 2. Spencer with the extra feed. Well worked. It was Royce to Spencer. Spencer to Dayron. Dayron with the flush. And he is looking sharp today. Easy 2 for Gallo. Back down to 18. Dinwiddie goes downhill through the middle. And it is an extra Nets possession, if you will. Well worked by the Nets. I imagine they practice those fast break sort of sequences, 3-on-2 fast breaks, more often than not in shoot around and practice and all sorts. Dayron picks up his dribble, maneuvered through, and scored off the window again to get us into triple figures, should I say. I did not update the scoreboard. That's a bit problematic. It's now updated. Avdia looking for Mikal under the basket. He's got Doe on him, but they've had to pass it around the perimeter instead. Gallinari, that is knocked away by O'Neal. Another steal for the Nets. Dinwiddie no look to Watford. Set his feet, but did not shoot. From the outside, Dinwiddie to Watford. He will pass it to Dayron in the post again. It was Avdia this time on him, and he was fouled by Denny. So another let off, and with 7 to shoot, that'll go back up to 14, and we will trigger in from the sideline. So I think this one is probably in the books. Around the grounds, I will probably do that post-game, and we will obviously assess the standings at that time. How many assists does Kuzma have? I will use the timeout. We do have a stoppage in play, because there's a little bit of blood getting cleaned up on Muscala's knee. But to answer your question, box score-wise, let's go up. I gather you've probably put money on that. Kuzma has 1 assist. So unless there was a line that said Kuzma over under 1.5 assists, I don't think you're in the ballpark for winning that sort of money. The Pistons really are 2 of 20. Yeah, they stink. They stink. But you know what? I honestly reckon that unless they go on a good run of form, and knowing the Nets will play them into form, they may very well be in the picture for the worst record in NBA history. What the fuck is Spencer doing, man? Oh my god. They have absolutely blown that fast break possession. That is absolutely woeful. That is hilarious. So Dinwiddie just passed it into a wizard after Dayron had changed direction. They had a fast break sequence. Oh my god, bro. How the fuck is that an offensive foul, man? Dayron's going to get hit with it. Bro, Royce is talking way too much smack for a bench player. Kispert's talking a load of shit to O'Neal, and probably rightfully so. I would be pissed off if Royce O'Neal was talking smack to me. Denny going to drive and kick it out to Muscala. Back to Avdia, who's going to drive on O'Neal. Muscala, top of the key. It was a good pop, and he knocks down the three. What is going on under the basket, bro? O'Neal has a bit of fire about him. I think it's a double tech. Yep, it's a double tech. What the fuck is O'Neal doing? Mate, I have no idea. Royce has woken up feeling dangerous, man. But yeah, a couple of possessions ago, they just blew a fast break possession. It was like Royce O'Neal, his active hands have been really good today. O'Neal for three, he was trying to will that basketball into the hoop, and it worked. Lead back up to 20, and now he's involved in this sequence, but Kispert scores over the top of him, with Dinwiddie also there. Dinwiddie. He probably carried that basketball, but they don't call those these days. Dinwiddie weaves through, gets one up, and he got a +1. And we have another timeout. So, Spencer Dinwiddie just flicked it up with the right hand. Basically not even facing the rim. Still was able to get the score. It's back up to 20. We are well in control. And we've got to well and truly slam the door shut on this Wizards team with like a couple of good minutes. We go on a nice little run. We're probably getting it done. Wizards, I mean, yeah, the story really hasn't changed from their perspective, and we are cooking them at the moment. We've gotten, well, Royce O'Neal, I mean, at halftime, he did not really have any contribution whatsoever from the field. He's gone and scored a bunch in this second half, 7 boards, 4 assists to go with 13 points. Dayron's got 15 and 9. And look, when the game was there to be won in the first half and we needed to keep afloat whilst a number of other players were trying to, find their groove, Dayron was there. He's had a superb game, 17 minutes only, but 15, 9, and 3 with a steal and a block is a superb stat line, and he is just improving by the day. Finney Smith, haven't really had to call upon him for the second half. Every net is in the plus minus, which I think probably says a lot about our domination with the bench unit, with the starters in the second half. Cam Thomas is 17. He has not seen the floor in this fourth quarter. He's had a steal and a block to go with 4 dimes as well. Dinwiddie's got 9 assists, and you wouldn't have been able to pick it, because we always talk about the inefficiencies shooting wise, and that's understandable. He's 4 of 13. He's not shooting it well. Claxton is 13 and 12. That's another good showing by him. And Mikal Bridges, really, I mean, another efficient shooting performance by him. I think he took 6 shots in the third quarter, which was a good amount of shots to take. That would have had him on track for about 2021, which I think is a good return from him. Like getting 12 or so shots out of him in a half of basketball, I think is bare minimum of the standard you want to set. So it looks like we are well and truly on our way to exceeding 120 points, which did not even look remotely possible in the first half. We've already scored, like in the first half, we scored 50. And we've scored 55, and we have 7 minutes left in this game. So we have well and truly gone to another level in the second half. Bridges has had 5 straight games with 20 or more. So Bridges is vibing on the bench whilst he's in a state of, like in a flow state. He's just staring into space. Dinwiddie, the free throw is good. And so, return from the timeout, get that extra point to go with the 3-point play, 21-point lead. Kuzma is back in. Dinwiddie knocks it away. Dinwiddie gets in front, dunks it down, or lays it in. I don't even know what you call that. He's got the tongue wagging. And a happy Dinwiddie is a happy Brooklyn team, I do reckon. Because some people have been saying this guy's unhappy. Kuzma responds off the glass with 2. But yeah, I mean, people have been saying some of his comments have been cryptic and indicate he's on the way out. That's all speculation. Finney Smith from way downtown, that's off. Claxton, another rebound. And he was standing out of bounds. That had to have been the slowest turnover humanly possible. That Dinwiddie Kuzma fast break where it was in dispute, I think that is... Oh, wow, we just knocked it away again. O'Neal with another steal, courtesy of the active hands. Here he is. Top of the key is open. Ah, he missed it. Watford try to bat it out. They get it ahead. Dinwiddie gets into the passing lane, and O'Neal will recover for Brooklyn. Another turnover for the Wizards when they too had an opportunity to capitalize on a turnover. Spencer on the outside will drive and score. Gets by Kispert. I don't know why he didn't do this more often in the first half. It's good to see now, though. Better late than never. Jones, the push shot, doesn't get the bounce. Rebound by Koulibaly. There was a bit of a body bump there, but they didn't call a foul. Kuzma, I think, was hit on the arm, but they didn't call a foul. Ball in dispute. It goes cross-court for Kispert. Shoots the 3 over the top of Finney Smith. It's well short. Gafford was in perfect position for a rebound. However, he missed it. Claxton got the board. Watford one-man offense, and it's going to be a foul. But Finney Smith was there for the follow-up put-back dunk. It's going to be free throws for Watford, but we are seeing a season high for points in the paint, and it's no surprise because we've seen Dayron and Claxton get fed the basketball a little bit more under the basket, but we've also seen Dinwiddie, Thomas, Bridges all exploit and emphasize getting to the rim in the second half, which has been, well, important, really important. You know, in us really getting this separation, and we've gotten 61 points in the second half already, and it's highly on the back of this sort of stuff, you know? So it's good to see that adjustment was made, and the Nets personnel was smart enough to recognize that that's what's going to win us this game today when the threes aren't falling. And as we saw, the threes started to come naturally. The threes started to come naturally as we started to score the ball more on the interior, because it sort of forced them to drop back a little bit. Oh, wow. Watford bodies his way to the basket, had Koulibaly on him, and scored with the right hand. Yeah, but as I said, the more we started to score the ball at the cup, the more they would sag off a little bit to sort of compensate for that. There's a foul on Watford as he was trying to maneuver through the screen. Yeah, and now the threes have just started to open up because they've dropped back a little bit. We're up to 49% shooting after we were shooting the ball abysmally in the first half. And it's been because we've taken less threes, taken what's been given to us, but like we've found that balance. We've found that balance. And that's, well, that's really good to see. That's why the shooting percentages have gone up. It's because we've shot more layups. More shots at the rim. It's really that simple. And they have had no answers. It's really helped. We've gotten the rebounds as well to help feed that total as well. So the Wizards, down 24, they make the first free throw at the 4:18 mark, and Jones will do the second free throw as well. Harry Giles also is in the game, and he was in the game about 40 seconds ago, so this is probably the most minutes he will play in an NBA game this season. At least to this point of the season, this is the most he, well, will end up playing by the end of the night. Cam Thomas is harassed by Koulibaly. Cam drives. Giles with the offensive board, and he scores for 2. So I think it's just continuing on from what has been a very, very common trend in this game, and that is we're just getting way too many offensive rebounds. How we're at 116 points, I got no clue, man. In case you missed it, we have the third best offensive rating in the entire league, I think. Or third best offense, for that matter. Fourth best net rating, which is pretty staggering for our team. And a 17th ranked defense. I imagine it will go up today because we've only conceded 91 points as it currently sits. You can see Claxton, 14 rebounds. My golly. Spencer Dinwiddie's got 4 steals to go at 9 dimes and 14 points. And even him, like, first half, I think he really embodies today how this game has gone shooting-wise. First half, he was 1 of 8, and he was 0 of 5 from 3. Second half, he's only taken 1 3, but as you've seen, he's taken nearly the same amount of shots as he did in the first half. Only difference is he's making them, the ones in the restricted area, because they are on, and they are the right shot to take. He's 5 of 7 in the second half, and only 1 3. So that's more the type of Dinwiddie I want to see play. Like, if he actually shot more, like actually had a bit more assertiveness getting to the cup in the first half, he would have had at least 20, pushing 25. We've got 6 players in double figures. We've got we've got 2 players who are pushing that mark as well. Yeah, I mean, it's been a great second half by this team. We've had 16 more shots, hit 4 more threes, even though the percentage isn't great. It is admittedly a lot better than it was in the first half. I think we're 7 of 13 in the second half. So 7 of 13 in the second half, 3 of 18 in the first half. I mean, that speaks volumes about taking less, scoring more. It's the same with Dinwiddie, man. Free throws sort of evened out. The offensive rebounds has been excellent today. Dayron and Clax have spearheaded that. The assist numbers up at 25. That's good. Turnovers only at 9. That's good as well. Like, everything about this game today, I mean, granted it's against a Washington Wizards team, but this is the same Washington Wizards team that gave us a run for our money in the previous game. So it was important that we weren't complacent in this one, and we well and truly capitalized on the clear difference in talent and roster, that the Wizards have compared to us. So it's good to see that we have this 25-point buffer, because I think it's indicative of how well we're playing. Harry Giles nearly had a block there, but it was Watford who committed the foul probably a fraction of a second earlier. So free throws coming up now. How many 3-pointers did Poole make? I will go back to the box score at full time, or if we have another timeout, I'll check it out for you. That first free throw by Butler is off. Let's keep the Wizards under 100 for sure. I think we'll do that. I probably just jinxed it. Royce seriously in danger of getting some respect. Yeah, God forbid if I have to give that guy some respect, man. That's honestly one of my worst nightmares. Keeps me up at night. Thomas was looking for Giles in the post. Gets it to him now. Faces up Gill. Backs him down. Right hand. That is good. So Harry Giles with 2 points. And man, it's great when you can have your 13th best player off the bench contribute like he does in 5 minutes of action. So Watford will slow things right down. And if we score here, we will have gotten... Hold on. Harry for 3. That's off. And that is exactly why I say he can't play as a 4. He cannot space. Well, he can, but only marginally. Thomas. Oh, that's a tough shot. Deep 2. Airballed it. Giles, the offensive board. He was fouled on the way up with 2 to shoot. And it'll be 2 shots. So now you've got the Wizards bench well and truly emptied. We've got a bunch of players in that I have not ever seen play. Well, I have, but I refuse to take notice. So Giles at the free throw line for 2. That's off, the first one. Cam Johnson isn't coming back in. Well, yeah, I know you probably sent that like 5 minutes ago, but yeah, he's not. Nets fans, welcome to the stream, buddy. I do know you have a podcast, so that's good to see. Dayron missed the layup after we actually got the offensive board. No look by the center for the Wizards, which I'm not even going to bother trying to pronounce, and it will be Nets ball the other way. Yeah, I know you've got a podcast, I do think, so it's good to see a fellow net ally, if you will, content ally in the chat, so that's good to see. Watford across to Thomas. We will do a little post-game as well, so make sure to hang around for that. Watford tries the 3. That's off. Giles could not chase off the rebound, and the Wizards go the other way with 2.5 to play. It is a 26-point lead for this squad, and that 3 is off by Butler. The rebound, O'Neal, who, as I've said, has a bit of fire in his belly. I don't know why. The last couple of games, he's looked a little bit more fired up than like I've ever seen him. Giles, good cut along the baseline, and Dayron with the feed. He's a bit underrated in that department as well, Dayron. And it is party time on the bench. Mikal is doing a little bit of theatrics on the side, celebrating, which you love to see. And that is a corner try by Gill. It's off. The rebound by Sharp. And he just lost the ball. Never mind, he didn't. The Wizards nearly... Oh my God, what is going on? Bro, they've got to stop showing the Nets bench. I know it's good vibes on the side, and Bridges is dancing now, so that's when you know it's party time. But I'm trying to see Harry Giles score buckets because we don't see it too often. Gill responds for 2. It's back down to 28. But this one is well and truly in the books, I do feel. I've been trying to reach you. I will add you on Twitter and we can discuss post-game if you'd like. Watford will use the body bump, and he is fouled, and it is going to be 2 shots. It's Gill who is the bloke that is committed the foul, and Watford will go back to the line. 72 points. 72 points in the second half for the Nets. Good fight back. Good fight back by the lads. Clax 15 rebounds. Blatch. Well, I guarantee you did not mean Blatch, because Blatch, bro, Andre Blatch played like fucking 10 years ago. Oh man, that's funny. I know you didn't mean to type that, but that's just hilarious. Royce solid on both sides. Those are the keys of this game, and of course, I think of this whole season, honestly. Well, yeah, I mean, the rebounds, bro. And ultimately, yeah, the team's ceiling elevates tremendously if we can actually score the ball and equally get those stops that we've been crying out for. I do think the Wizards just scored and there's an N1 opportunity here, but it's the defense, man. The defense is the ceiling to this team. Like, we're a number 3 ranked offense, and defensively, we're shit. So, like, if we can get defense to top 10, I don't think that'll happen anytime soon. Oh, Giles again under the basket. Oh my God, he's just been denied by the rim. He had an open dunk, and that is why he doesn't get the minutes. The Wizards showing why these 5 players for the Wizards don't get minutes either, because they're fucking turning the ball over, and it's really unforced errors. We're in the final 30 seconds, ladies and gents. My goodness, what a performance by this squad, man. 124 points. It was a 3-point lead for this team at the half, but we have well and truly asserted our dominance in this second half, and it was needed. We needed to put this game to bed, put it beyond doubt. We're going to let the shot clock run down and wind down and run out. 11 seconds left in the game. I'm just going to let the clock run because it don't matter. We're not going for point differential. It is in the books, 124-97. Hang on a second. They're going to try a layup. What tosses? Giles with the block. Yes, sir. And another good bit of defensive work, and they miss. They were trying to be a little bit greedy, get those extra 2 points, because 99's better than 97. But you know what? A win is better than a loss, and we are experiencing the brighter side of things today. 124-97. We are winners of 6. In 6 of our last 7. It is, well, this was very convincing. Probably, well, this is the third 20-point win of the season. 2 of those have come against Orlando because we own them, and the Wizards, well, not so much, but today we did. We go to the box score, and you will see this is the embodiment, ladies and gentlemen, of a team performance right here. You've got 6 players who are in double figures. You have got 4 players who did get minutes that are pushing that mark as well. Harry Giles, I mean, I know it was against a shit opposition. Like, in those minutes he was on, but he scored 8, had 2 blocks, 2 offensive rebounds. It's just one of those teams where you can rely on absolutely anyone to get the job done. Watford had 8. Finney Smith had 8. O'Neal was a little bit inefficient, but I do think his defense was superb today, as much as I hate to say it. 8 boards, 5 dimes. It doesn't say he got a steal, but I guarantee you we had 7 steals in the game. Dinwiddie had 4. I think O'Neal was a large part of getting those steals and, you know, being active with the deflection side of things. Dayron was excellent, 15 and 11, you know, did what he had to do when it mattered. 5 offensive boards, 4 dimes, a steal and a block. Superb. Everyone nearly was plus 10 or more in the plus minus. Nearly everyone in double digits in the positive. So that's excellent to see. Everyone weren't passengers, if that makes sense. Bridges with 21, he was the high man. But, I mean, that's not really what we need to emphasize today, because it was a team performance in the second half. It wasn't down to one individual. Cam Johnson was quiet, but credit to Dinwiddie and Thomas in the second half. They needed to wake up, and they did. And I think it was a high commitment to getting to the cup, which helped us to win this game. Claxton with 13 and 15, 4 offensive boards, 2 blocks in only 26 minutes. So what you're seeing from Dayron and Clax is really high efficiency minutes. I mean, it's really superb to watch. Really superb to watch when you have a reliable center rotation. And I've been waiting for like the last 12 to 15 months for Dayron to finally wake up. And I think we're seeing the awakening of him now. Dinwiddie with 9 dimes was an understated part of his game today, I do think. It's very easy to just look at the shooting splits and say, well, he had a bad first half, clawed it back, but he also did a very good job of facilitating. And Cam Thomas, I mean, even though his efficiency was to be questioned, I think he clawed it back equally well in the second half, and, you know, he did a little bit of everything on the defensive side of the ball as well. So another good win by the lads. In a game where we only had 10 threes, we score 124 points. And that was on the back of, well, clawing back the percentages. As I said earlier, Dinwiddie was an embodiment of how well we played today, or how we were able to bring things back in the second half because of that assertiveness in driving to the basket and not placing emphasis on the 3. Like in the second half, only had 15 3-point attempts compared to the 18 in the first half. A few of those racked up in junk time, but we shot 7 of 15 in the second half from 3, and it was a lot better in the third quarter as well. So kept the turnovers down, didn't give them the confidence they needed, out-rebounded them severely by 14. They actually got up in the offensive rebounds late, but overall, a pretty strong performance by this team. Again, I cannot complain. It was a huge 27-point win, but a lot of the work, as I said, was done in the second half. This is the Wizards' box score, and it is nowhere nearly as appealing to the eye. You can see Tyus Jones with 14, Kuzma with 17. Avdia with 15, but really outside of that, and Koulibaly, who had a double-double, there wasn't really much good to talk about. They shot it like trash from the outside. The free throw number really disintegrated in the second half. Like, they barely got there until late when the game didn't matter. And the field goal percentage dropped in the last quarter. So, yeah. And the 15 turnovers, they were prone to turning it over in some of the most awful ways. It really was destined from the very first possession where they turned it over because of a behind the back. So I think there's a reason why they are 3-18, and good teams have to deal with business, and we did a good job of doing that as well. I told you Giles is good. Very good. I mean, like, I'm not saying he's shit. I've been praising the whole team for having, like, being 13 deep. Like, there's 13 good players on the roster, 15 good players on the roster. Jalen Wilson is balling out in the G League. He probably could make an impact as well if he gets an extended run, bit of continuity. But it's like, we don't have enough minutes to go around. If this game was longer and it was more, if there were more players on the court and it was longer, well, then Giles would get run. But I think it's just the way the game's played, the way our roster is constructed, the amount of minutes to go around. It's just impossible to do it. Team stats, we'll have a quick look at those as well. I think that's important. We talk about the points in the paint being a really key part of the win today, and it actually was our best performance points in the paint wise this season. And I think being able to change up the way we won from shooting threes like there's no tomorrow to scoring 76 paint points today, I think that speaks volumes about the adjustment we made and the difference it made in terms of the context of the game. So that was really good to see. The assist numbers pretty good. Rebounds pretty good. There's not really much to complain about from this perspective. Sharp, yeah. Blatch, bro. I mean, that's probably showing how long you've been a Nets fan, if anything. Great movement and defensive work. Nice job, Coach Vaughn. Our offense in transition. Like, it's looking much better. It's starting to look a bit more free-flowing. 22 fast break points as well. I think that's a good mention. And that's probably on the back of the turnovers we created. It's going to be a different story next week. We've got the Kings, the Nuggets, the Warriors, and the Suns. They are 4 very difficult opponents. I think we're really going to show our true colours if we can at least go 2-2 in that week, that run of games. But we will be there for nearly every single one of those, 3 games. We won't be doing the Warriors one on the weekend, but we will be doing the first 3. So if you want to tune in for those, you know the place to be. What would you rather have? Ben Simmons playing like he did before the injury, Dinwiddie reverting back to a catch-and-shoot three-point role, or this lineup? That's a really tough question. I would say I think it depends on matchup. I think it depends if you want, like, if you need that extra rebounder like Ben. If you need an extra rebounder like Ben, you will play Ben. If you need, like, a more physical lineup, you go with that. And you bench Dinwiddie. You start Cam, you go Mikal, CJ, Clax, and then your boy Ben. And then obviously you can chop and change. Ben can play with the bench, and you can have Finney Smith at the 4. So that's a really physical lineup that can hold their own. So I'm thinking more lineups like the ones that we'll have to face with the Sixers and maybe the Celtics and those sorts of lineups. I think Ben would be really handy. It really depends matchup wise though. I think this team is very malleable. Is that the word? Where it's very, like, flexible and prone to change. I think that's probably a great way to put it. So yeah, it's a tough one. And I think that's where JV needs a bit of credit, because this team's 12-9. He's had players in and out of the side, so no stability. We don't even have stability with our lineups because there's like 15 capable players on this roster. So you're trying to give all of them minutes and balance it out. Like today, we had everyone score 7 or more points from a 10-man rotation. That is a crazy figure. And that is with Dennis and Lonnie Walker out of the team as well. And that is with Ben out of the team as well. And I'm not saying Ben would score 10 points. I'm saying that he would open up more opportunities for these players, these role players, to get open looks. So, I mean, signs point up. Signs point up. The offense is excellent. We're not playing the Wizards every game, unfortunately. Unfortunately, we can only have one in-season tournament, which only leads to one extra game against the Wizards. But, I mean, you know, this scoreline is indicative of what can happen when the team is performing on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. And as I've said time and time again, I think Bridges is leading the way in that regard. He's lifted in that, like, that sort of intensity in that part of the game. But I think players even like Dayron off the bench, defensively holding his own and sort of being relied upon at times. Like, started the second half, Claxton was benched like 2 minutes in, even though he had only picked up his third foul. It wasn't like he was in foul trouble, but he brought Dayron on because he had an excellent first half. His play warranted minutes. And, you know, like, it was great to see. It was great to see that you can rely on Dayron to have a good 20 minutes and give Clax that, what's the word? Bit of relief, if you will, because it can be a very unrelenting schedule at times. So to be able to keep our centers fresh and so, like, they can be, like, their performance can be optimized when required, it's good to have that flexibility and good to have, you know, a ton of capable players, albeit not the best players in the league, but a ton of capable players that can get the job done. Obviously, this has been an easier part of the schedule. So 6 wins from 7, I cannot complain with that, obviously. I can complain that the one loss was against Charlotte by 1. So it could have been 7 in a row, but it is what it is. You can't win them all. But that being said, as I've said, this next run of games is going to well and truly test us as a team. Well and truly. Let me have a look at the chat. I say more perimeter defense with Ben and more presence inside, but the keys are Clax and Sharp if they still grow. Today, Clax was just excellent. All the guards could score. We're covered. Yeah, the guards have just got to refine their feet because the last couple of games they've struggled, but hopefully they've gotten the kinks out of their game. You know, ironed out the kinks, and hopefully we're going to see the best of them in this run of games where we really need them to step up. Royce, yeah, Bridges' offensive quality is just efficient as hell. Royce, active hands today, he was superb in that regard. And let me have a look. If Ben was healthy, he makes this team better. Apart from his scoring, he's the lead at everything else and rarely makes mistakes. It'd be so interesting to see what the lineup is with our team fully fit, because we know, with players having to get called up constantly, we know that every one of these players can play, and they deserve minutes. So what does a rotation look like for the Nets? Is it we play 12 players every night? Is it we play 10 players and a couple good players miss out? It's like, how do you get the best out of this team? Do you play a certain group of individuals that may have a higher ceiling for more minutes? Or do you play a bunch of, like, a longer rotation, a deeper rotation that gets less time, but you're sort of getting the same impact? It's a weird one. This roster's so weird, man. Of course, Spencer has played good tonight in transition, but it was quite easy for him because of our defense. He was good defensively. He was a part of the reason we were running in transition. It was because he had 4 steals, and O'Neal was a good part of that. Yeah, I mean, it was just a good shift by this entire team. I will go quickly to the standings, and then we can obviously wrap this one up. We have gone up to the 8th seed, ladies and gents, And obviously, there are now 4 teams currently stuck on 12 wins and 9 losses. We have well and truly got a break on the 10 seed now. And the Cavaliers and the Heat are currently fighting for a win. So one of those teams may drop, the other team may elevate. So we want the Heat to win because we're already above them. But I think the Cavaliers are well positioned. Minnesota beating Memphis, no surprise there. Golden State up on OKC. Chicago losing to the Spurs. The Rockets beating Denver. They've been really competitive this season, which is pretty awesome to see. The Raptors beat Toronto. The Suns up on the Suns up on the Kings. That didn't make any sense. The Suns up on Phoenix. Orlando beat Detroit. They smoked them. Philly beat Atlanta, and then obviously we won, and Boston won as well. So it's really tightening up. If the Pacers lose that final of the in-season tournament, they also will be on 12 wins, 9 losses. But I do want them to win because I hate not the Pacers. I hate the Lakers' guts. So yeah, if the Pacers lose tomorrow, they will too be equal with 4 other teams on 12 wins and 9 losses. Actually, they won't, because one team's going to be 13-9 in that Cavaliers Heat game. I better just stop talking because I'm just going to confuse you continuously. But yeah, the Magic also 15-7. This is going to be a really interesting run because yeah, we could either stay with the pack or we could drop off and sort of tie ourselves to, well, the 10th seed and lower. So I don't think that's going to be the case, but I think we can remain afloat given the way we've played against some decent opposition. The Hawks aren't too bad, and like the Magic, the same. The Magic are awesome, and we've beaten them twice, and convincingly twice. Like, look at their last 10. They're 8-2, and I do believe the 2 losses may be both against us. I don't think they are, though. I could be wrong. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up from me. Let me just put up the main screen. We will be back for Nets Kings in about 3 days' time, 2 days' time, 48 hours, 72 hours, I don't know. But you know where to be. We will be heading off now, but make sure to drop a like on the way out and also subscribe if you are new as well. Because yeah, we'll be back for every step of this Nets journey, and hopefully it is, well, it, brings some good results, Right now it's looking that way, so I'm very excited and optimistic for what this season has to offer, because yeah, the season's been pretty good so far. I can't complain. We've been competitive, played with heart. I think JV's gotten them all on side and the culture's good. JV said pre-game, and I think a lot of other players have attested to this. The mantra is holding players accountable as well and having tough conversations. Tough conversations make teams better. So it's important that we constantly have that accountability. We go back to the 2018 season, or sorry, the 2018-19 season. We went on an 8-game losing streak, had a players-only meeting, and then we went on this winning streak that, helped our season get back on track, and we made the playoffs that year. So I do think that is so important to have those tough conversations. But yeah, really excited for what this team will deliver on, really. Those who are checking out now, thanks for tuning in as always. I'd like a cheeky $5 on Royce replacing KD on that wall. Yeah, I'll just get a picture of Royce and then just put it over the top. Honestly, I should do that to take the piss. See if anyone notices. I won't warn you when I do it. I'll just do it. But yeah, that's going to do it from me. Make sure to stay safe, everyone. And yeah, we will see you in a couple of days' time for the start of what will be a very important run of games. More chance there being a Swans poster up there. Potentially. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Maybe we may have to change the setup a little bit, add a little bit of spice to it. Anyway, that's going to do it. I'm not going to ramble on anymore, even though I am. Kuzma deserves better. He probably does, but at the same time, like, is what it is, man. When you're an NBA player, you sign up for this. You know, the business side of the game hurts, but it is ruthless. Anyway, that'll do it. We will see you soon. Thanks for the support. Show your support on the way out. And yeah, sub if you would like to stay notified. We're done here, though. See you guys. Enjoy the day. Or night. Or evening. Or afternoon. Wherever you are. Bye.